Alright, so good morning, Zina. Alright, now we are going to be looking at these questions that has to do with change of measurement. Do you understand? Change of what? Measurement. Now, measurement can be of different units. You can either be measuring the weight of an item, which is what? In grams or kilograms. Or you can be measuring what? Distance, which can be in meters, decimeter, centimeter. Do you understand? So now, for you to be able to answer any question that has to do with changing of what measurements from one unit or form to another, you must know what quantity it can be represented, in the sense that you must know what amount of quantity should be used to what represent another what amount of quantity or unit of quantity. So here we have 10 decimeter is the same thing as what? 1 meter, right? We have here 100 centimeter is what? Equal what? 1 meter. We have here 1000 gram is equals to what? Kilogram. Here we have 10 decigram is equals to what? 1 gram. Here we have 1000 kilograms is equals to what? 1 ton. And here we have 100 centigram is equals to what? 1 gram. And here we have 100 centimeter is equals to what? 1 decimeter. Now, there is a secret used when solving this change of what? Units from one form to another. Let me tell you that secret. Here we have what? Deci. De means what? When you hear something de, it has to do with what? 10. When you hear kilo, it has to do with what? 1000. When you hear cent, it has to do with what? 100. Are you see what I'm doing? D has to do with what? De. When you can see here, we have decimeter. It has to do with what? 10. Kilo has to do with what? 1000. And cent has to do with what? 100. With just these few things, you should be able to solve questions that has to do with this changing of what? Units from one form to another. Now, we have here deci, dec. Remember I told you de means 10. Deci what? Meter. Now, this is simply telling you, for this meter to stand alone, we need what? 10 decimeters. 10 what? Deci. De. Remember, D stands for what? 10. 10 decimeter. That means you need 10 decimeter to have what? 1 meter. Now, cent. Cent means 100. From what we did here, cent means what? 100. Now, that shows that we need 100 what? Cent. 100 centimeter to get what? 1 meter. Can you see what we are doing? Now, let's look at the next one. 1000 grams is what? 1 kilogram. Now, from the kilo, I told you kilo means what? 1000. Kilo means what? 1000. Now, it's telling you that for you to get 1 kilo, you must have what? 1000 what? Grams. A total of what? 1000 grams to get what? 1 kilogram. Do you understand? Now, we're looking at the next one. 10 decigrams. 10 decigrams. Now, remember this dec means what? 10. This de means what? 10. Deci means what? 10. That means we need 10 of these decigrams to get what? One of these what? Grams. You can see these grams here. Can you see these grams here? This deci simply is telling you that we need 10 of this deci to get what? This gram, which is what? 1 grams. Now, 1,000 kilograms has to do with what? 1 tons. When you hear 1 ton of or a ton of rice, is simply telling you 1,000 kilograms of what? Rice. Here we have what? 100 centi. Remember, cent means what? 100 centigram. Remember, this is just giving you a clue of what quantity of this, what quantity. Remember, we have here centi. Cent means what? 100. That means we have 100 what? Centigrams. 100 centigrams to get what? 1 grams. Remember, this cent came before this gram. This cent came before this gram. That is telling you that you need 100 cents. 100 cents to get this gram, which is this what? 1 grams. And please, this one is something you should not forget. We have what? 10 centimeter will give us what? 1 decimeter. Please take note of this. Alright, let's look at few questions. Yeah. Now we have 9 decimeter equals to what? 9 decimeter equals to what? Dash centimeter. From our question here, from our hint here, we have what? 10 centimeter will give us what? 1 what? Decimeter. That means for you to get